If you've been looking for a job for over 6 months, you're wasting your time. The world has changed. Here's why. Yo, what's up? I'm back with another YouTube video, and today we're going to talk about how the world has straight up changed. And the rules of old are out the window, and jobs are gone. A lot of them are not coming back. And it's time for us to start thinking about ways that we can get back to the basics and get ahead. So I want to start this video off by talking about how the social contract that we signed is dead. The social contract pretty much used to say that if you go to work, you live a decent life, you're going to earn a decent living, and you're going to be able to make a decent wage and have a family and maybe get a house one day and maybe have a shot at economic prosperity.
You serious?
That was the dream that we signed up for. That is the dream that a lot of the boomer generation is now reaping the benefits of. And that pipe dream is just not the case for millennials, Gen Z, and even Generation Alpha. And the boomers, they already got theirs. You know what I mean? My parents, they retired about 5, 6, 7 years ago, and they are reaping the benefits of the system that was supposed to have been working for us. They have a pension, they worked for government, they have 3 different properties that they were able to purchase at a very, very low price when they were younger. And I don't know if you can see the neighborhood I'm in right now, but the house that they got 20 years ago was only $300 grand. This house is almost worth $800,000, $900,000 now. And okay, you can say appreciation or whatever. This same house is now in the low 6s, more than double the price of what it was back then. So they got a good deal. Yes, they may have had to deal with a lot when they were younger or what have you, but they got a pretty good deal out of this. Meanwhile, the white collar workers, we are out here doing 50 applications a week, 20 applications a week, and it is getting us absolutely nowhere. Applying on Indeed, applying on LinkedIn is literally like throwing your resume into the abyss.
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
There is no reason to do it. You're not going to get a call back, and half of the jobs are not even freaking real. So to waste that amount of time, it just doesn't make sense anymore. And I had this conversation over and over again with my parents about this doesn't make sense. Why would I do this? Why would I waste my time trying to find a job if it's not working? The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and thinking it's going to work. This isn't working. It's just not.
I'm tired of this, man. I'm sick of worrying about which cars. I'm sick of worrying about the government. I can't eat. I'm broke, nigga. I'm broke.
So that brings me to my second point. And my second point is for everybody out there who is still applying to jobs and still trying to figure out why you're not getting callbacks and all that stuff. It is time to make a pivot. It is time to do something else. And it's time to really, really think about the basics and get back to the basics of society and goods and services. So as simple as this, if you live in a small town, or if you live in a city, or if you live anywhere where there's people are buying things. Look around. Money is all around you. Money is everywhere. People are constantly exchanging money for goods and services. So you need to think about what is something that I can do to make money, right?
Hide the money, y'all. There's poor people around.
So you need to think about what is something that I can do to provide value to someone else. I don't care if you live in a small town and maybe there's a lot of pools in that town and there's only one pool store, it's always crowded. Look into opening a pool store. Look into opening a pool business. You got to find scarcity where there is a market for it. Even if it's food delivery service, I don't care what it is. I ride around my parents' neighborhood and I see all these houses with terrible, unkept grass. Now, one could say, oh, if they could pay a landscaper to do it, then they would. But that stuff is expensive as hell. You got a lawnmower, you walk around to people's houses, and you ask them, can you cut the grass? If they already have a landscaper, you say, hey, how much are you paying for your landscaping? All right, I'll do it for half the price. If you ain't got nothing to do, there's really no excuse. You really got to go back to the basics of all of this. I don't care if it's a laundry service. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's washing cars. Think about other ways that you can get money, because I think a lot of people get entrepreneurship mixed up with you got to be a content creator or you got to be online to be an entrepreneur. No, an entrepreneur is just someone who sees a business opportunity and they take advantage of it. And you know what makes the most money? Businesses that are not sexy. You know what's not sexy? Pouring concrete, building fences, building houses. So AI can't replace everything, right? So sometimes we got to look back and say, all right, well, what can I do that's not going to be replaceable? They can't build your house. They can't even put together your furniture. They can't cut your grass. It can't fix your car. It can't do your laundry for you. So there's a lot of ways that you can get ahead, and it may not be what you want to do, but it may be something that makes sense. And sometimes getting into business, it doesn't have to be your passion. It doesn't have to be your thrill. Work isn't your thrill. You already go to your 9 to 5 and you hate it, but you go there. And you go there, why? Because you make money. So why not start a business? You may not like it, but you're making money. So sometimes you got to think about what makes sense. And I think this time that we have to start thinking about it, because I talk to all these rich people and all they say is, start your own business. So pretty much. Oh,
brother, this guy stinks.
Boomers got pensions. We gotta struggle, and we gotta make it work. My uncle, people love to tell stories about back in the day, but my uncle, he started washing cars in a parking lot. And eventually now he has 9 different locations across the state, and he's a millionaire from washing cars. Washing cars. It's possible, y'all. So I know that the jobs are not hiring us. I know that people are getting fired left and right. I know that we're drowning in debt. I know that we're got all of these college loans and we've been laid off and we've been fired or what have you. But I promise you, there's money still out there because people are going to still live their lives. People are going to still spend the little bit of money that they have. And if you can provide some sort of value to them, then they're going to be grateful for it. Even if it's a party business where you rent chairs out to people. You can rent chairs out to convention centers. You can rent them out to event spaces. It doesn't matter. Just stop and think for a second and look around and say, wow, what service do people need that they're not getting that I can provide? And I promise you that might be a path to it. So in closing, if you've been looking for a job for over 6 months and it's not working, you have to start thinking about something differently. You have to. And that's what I had to do. I mean, I was looking for a job for over a year and it was not working. It was not working. So I decided to pick up a camera and I decided to pick up this and do content and start taking pictures at proms and taking pictures at parties and just saying yes to anything that people needed to. And eventually now I don't look for a 9 to 5 anymore because this is going to work because I found a need and I can capitalize on it. So I know that it's hard. I know that we're not really getting along with our parents in this generation and they want us to find a job and they don't really understand that things have changed, but some things will always remain the same. Money is exchanged for goods and services. And if you can provide a good or a service or provide value to somebody or to people, then you're going to make money. So think about it. The answers are all around you. So that's going to do it for today's episode. I'm going to try to come back and do some more YouTube for you guys. I'm going through a lot right now. I done pivoted. I done moved back home with my parents. Haven't really talked much about that journey yet. But, you know, I do want to tap back into this and tell y'all everything that's been going on with the journey from New York back down to Maryland area. And, you know, my production company, Barber Jane Productions, is doing very, very well. So I think that's kind of like what's pulling me away from this. But I think that we're going to have some really dope stuff down in the future. And stay tuned. Like this video, subscribe, share this video to anyone out there. And peace. Much love.